104.5 The Team, your home for New York Yankees baseball. We're now joined by Mike Vacarro. He covers New York sports for the New York Post. Mike, what do you make of the current run for the Yankees, this hot start that they're off to? Is it real?
Well, I think it's real. I mean, I don't know if it's sustainable at this level, but certainly, I don't think Aaron Judge is certainly going to get a hit tomorrow, and I don't think that, I think Gary Sanchez is starting to heat up again, and the lineup has been tremendous. And I think that, look, I mean, the question is and always will be what the starting rotation can do. And Michael Pineda has looked really good. The others have been shaky. And that's really, how the Yankees are going to rise and fall this year until or if they make an acquisition at the deadline. But I think I don't think this is an aberration. I think they're going to be real players in the American League East for the duration of the season for sure.
What do you make of the cheering section now called the Judge Chambers? Is it cool or is it lame?
I have no problem with it, but I have no problem with any kind of crazy thing to do at a ballpark. I know Yankee Stadium, Yankees fans tend to treat it like church, and maybe that's a little bit different than what a lot of Yankee fans are used to. But to me, I mean, the ballpark's supposed to be a place where you have a good time and where things are kind of lighthearted and stuff. So to me, it's just kind of fun. I mean, look, do I think it's a little premature for a guy who's basically played less than 4 months as a big leaguer? Probably, but you know what? It's fun. It's all good fun. I have no problem with it. I really don't.
New York Post Mike Vacarro with us right now on 104.5 The Team. Mike, I'm one of those guys who I believe that in order for a team to make a sustained run or just be really good over 162 plus games, you got to do lighthearted, fun, stupid things like in 2009, the pies in the face and all that stupid stuff. Could this like Judge love be the stupid little thing that keeps the Yankees fresh and having fun?
Well, it certainly could be one of the things that contributes to it. But I think what that's reflective of is a kind of a fresh, new thing around the Yankees, which is they've committed for a couple of years. They wanted to build around kids, and I think they're seeing a lot of those dividends come to fruition now, and that's good. And it's interesting. I mean, it probably will color the way they do business for the foreseeable future because there really is a positive buzz attached to the team that they're missing for a couple of years when they were kind of bogged down with bad contracts, sort of unlikable players, and this is something of a different path for the Yankees, and I think that's all reflective in the section of the ballpark for Aaron Judge, and just the way that you hear the ballpark now when these young players are coming to the plate with Severino pitches. It's a really different feeling at the ballpark for sure.
Mike Vacarro with us. So, Mike, it almost sounds greedy at this moment because I am a Yankees fan. Gleyber Torres, do you think we'll actually see the young guy come up this season?
I do. I do. I think that they're trying to be smart with him. They're trying to be patient with him. He did very well at Double-A. If he does as well at Triple-A as he did at Double-A, you might see him by end of July, beginning of August. But they don't. The last thing in the world they want to do is slow his development by pushing him too fast.
Okay.
And I think that they want to make sure that the Yankee way is for these prospects to conquer a level before they're promoted. And I think you saw the real benefits of that, what they did with Judge. Judge struggled at every level that he was at the beginning, made adjustments, and wound up conquering that level and, moving up to the next level and went through the same process all the way through the big leagues. I mean, you saw last year, Judge had some early promise, and he wound up striking out a lot. But you could just sense, even in spring training, that he'd really kind of learned from those struggles. And I think that's a great template for the Yankees to follow with all these young players. There's no need to rush them. If they don't make the playoffs this year, it's not going to be considered a failure. If they don't win the World Series, certainly it's not going to be looked at as a failure. It's going to be looked at as a quantum leap forward to where they want to, where they want to go and who they want to be. So I don't think they want to try and sabotage that by rushing things along too much for any of the prospects.
Mike Vacarro of the New York Post with us right now. Levack and Goz on 104.5 The Team. Mike, I know the games are at Yankee Stadium, but did a foul ball almost take you out the last series between the Yankees and the Royals?
That one was at Kauffman Stadium. Yeah, it was. I had my head down at the very beginning of the game, where messing around on Twitter, and suddenly something goes whizzing by my head, and it was the first pitch of the game. It's kind of like the scene in The Natural where Max Mercy gets a buzzing from. But yeah, that was a lesson. Always keep your head up, no matter where you are at the ballpark.
So that's the lesson for the young media people out there. If it happens to them, Keep an eye on the ball and also be alert. Like, were your movements good? Were you looking like an athlete getting away from it at all?
I had no idea the ball was coming anywhere close to me until it whizzed past my head with the ball behind me. So it was just dumb luck that we're not having a very different conversation.
See, I knew you'd said you didn't see it coming, but that was your chance to change the story if you wanted to, that you look like Jeter up in the media. I gave you the opportunity.
The Matrix.
You could have changed the story if you wanted to, but you're very smart. You stay with the truth. A good journalist that you are. You had a great piece the other day about the best New York coaches for their respective sports, and you put Tom Coughlin over Bill Parcells as the best New York Giants coach of all time. Why is that?
Obviously it's a photo finish. I mean, you can go with either one, and it's going to be a fine answer. And you could probably go with Jim Lee Howell and probably, consider yourself, correct there also, or Steve Owen. But, to me, I just think the 2 Super Bowls that they won under Coughlin were such seminal events, beating the undefeated Patriots, beating a Patriots team that looked like it was about to establish its legacy. And, of course, they have subsequently done that. But those 2 victories are about as big as you can ask for among New York teams in the last, probably 35, 40 years. Certainly among Giants history. Now, look, I mean, Parcells obviously is responsible for the '86 team, which is probably the best team in team history. He won a second championship also. But I just think the nature of those victories and the nature of how they won those Super Bowls and what the Super Bowl is now, even as opposed to what it was 30 years ago, that's kind of why I give Coughlin the edge. But you know what? If I had to take Bill Parcells as a consolation prize, I'd probably do that also.
Mike Vacarro of the New York Post, nice enough to make some time for us. We appreciate you, my friend, and keep your head up.
Hey, great talking to you guys. Yeah, absolutely. I'll be aware next time. Trust me.